Right then, it's a quick walk around video for a Honda CR-V. It's a 1.5 SR automatic. This is actually my car. It's time for it to go, unfortunately, because I love this car. The car's just coming up to 43,000 miles, full Honda history from new, in very nice condition. Front of the car, that's the lenses are clear and intact there. Bonnet, can't see a stone chip of any note in there at all. Near side, lovely and smooth in the panels. No obvious indentations there at all. But literally I've just washed it off, I've not polished it, but it's got a very kind of natural gleam to the car. Back of the car, again, very clean indeed. Sorry for any sort of water running off, but I'm trying to dodge the showers today, and it's a bit windy, so I'm hoping you can hear me okay. Offside, driver's side, again beautifully smooth there in the panel work. Grey always looks good on these cars, always has done on CR-Vs, in this later generation one. But it is a fantastic car in every way actually. But externally, very nice for the age and mileage currently shown on the vehicle. Coming to the back of the car, enormous amounts of legroom in the car, full black leather interior, which has been kept very nicely. Worth pointing out, I've literally just taken a lightest hoover to the car. It's not been cleaned yet, but it's very clean indeed. Onto the passenger side, talking about carpets, I took the carpets out, the overmats out to clean them, and I've forgotten to put them back in, but they do come with the car. On the driver's side, again, very nice. Driver's seat, again, the car's vintage, very nice condition there. So we're inside the car now. As always, I have the engine running, so the dashboard can be seen illuminated. Lovely interior this new style CR-V is. Sat nav, you can see, working perfectly. Got the counter reverse, again, rear parking camera working exactly as it should. Just coming down the centre, so it's been kept very nicely. Up to the main dashboard binnacle. And hopefully you can pan in there. 42,976 miles. And no warning lights on the dashboard at all. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 1.5 SR automatic, registered SW68KHE, and with a mileage currently of 42,977. The reason we do these videos, and actually especially this bit, the road test section, is to ensure that if anyone's looking at any of the cars we're advertising, they get to see them in operation. The reason is simple, is because like lots of people who've been to see cars which looked absolutely fine in photographs or description, but only to get there and find out there's an obvious fault that shows up when you drive the car. So that's why we do it. Also done on these very quiet country roads in this lovely part of Gloucestershire, even on a foul day like today. This actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on. The hope is then, of course, that it'll be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car itself, as you'll know from the walk around section, this is actually my car. It's the first, we've had one of these before, but it's the first one I've physically owned. So I wanted to own one because it's, you know, even though I love CR-Vs, and it's fairly obvious from previous videos, it's not always a given, especially because it's such a change. The chassis, everything about the car changed completely, that I would naturally like the car. But that's not actually the point of the video, is to pick up on any issues. Comes with a full Honda history right up to the service we've just done on the car. You know, to cut out the rest of the video if you don't want to watch it, it's faultless. It drives absolutely beautifully. But to go through all the things I always do: push button start, engine starts instantly and settles to a smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on dashboard, and nor have there been in my ownership of the car. Temperature gauge running at a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on one of these vehicles. A lovely unit. I think they're about 180 horsepower or so. It's flexible, it's powerful, it pulls well, it sounds nice when it revs, but it cruises very quietly. And don't think for a second because it's only 1.5 it's not going to have the urge. Its direct competitor really is the last generation CR-V, the venerable 2-litre auto. That was a 2-litre auto driving through a 5-speed auto. Lovely engines, always have been, always will be. This I'm getting about 2 or 3 miles per gallon better than I ever did on any of those I had. They also, you know, knocks it into another county when it comes to pulling, especially at low revs. You touch the throttle and this thing's up and going straight away, whereas you had to wind the old one up. As the naturally aspirated VTECs were inclined to be, as flexible as they were. This is a fantastic power unit, really, really lovely to use. I've bowled over by it. Engine then feeds into the auto, which is a CVT automatic gearbox, which means it's constantly variable. Incredibly smooth driving around with it. It's a lovely match for the engine. Functions exactly as it's meant to in every single way, but it just makes driving a real pleasure. The whole car is so slick and smooth in the way it goes about its business. So pulling away there, no kind of lurching, no gear changes, just revs, catches up with the revs, and off you go. And then you move on to the steering and chassis, and this is where it's a big leap forward. The old CRVs were brilliant. This just takes it on to another level, because it's got the same kind of ability to sort of flow through corners really, really nicely. And as I always say, these aren't sports cars, they're not meant to be, but what it does, it just does with it's agile enough, it's poised, it's confident, it doesn't ever feel kind of top heavy or lollopy, but it gives you this incredibly smooth and settled ride. It is a lovely, lovely car. As I said, the first of these I've owned, and when I sell this one, I will be buying another one. Just love the thing. I don't think I could get into another car after this. The steering, by the way, pardon me, track's absolutely dead straight. There's no vibrations at this speed or any speed up to legal limit. Suspension likewise, no clonks, no rattles, nothing. The whole thing just feels absolutely tight as a drum. Brakes are excellent on the car. I've used them in anger, and no pulsing, no vibrations, powerful, well modulated, exactly as it should be. And then coming inside the car, first things first, again, as I always say, videos can't do justice to how well or how badly actually a car's built. These are beautifully put together cars. No rattles, no squeaks. It feels incredibly robust. It really, really does. But they've now gone to sort of more modern style interior, which I've kind of got used to, because again, I love the old CRVs. I love the simplicity of them. I always have done. This has got more on it, but the stuff I use is easily accessible, easy to use, and everything's working exactly as it should. It's got some bits I really love as well. Obviously, you've got your sat-nav working perfectly, reverse parking camera likewise, a separate screen if you need to, because you can go to the main one there as well, for your climate control, all working perfectly, pumping out ice cold air when we go back to warm days, hopefully. And then you've got this dash binnacle in front, which, like the Civic of its generation, nicely laid out and displayed. I'm a bit old school, I do prefer analog dials, I must admit, but that's not to say that this isn't bad. Far from it, it's actually really, really good. And then you've got this lovely leather-bound steering wheel, which feels great in hand. On these vehicles, you also get auto cruise control, so you've got the radar, so it senses the car in front and speeds you up and slows you down, which is lovely to use on the move. You've got lane departure, all the usual kind of safety gizmos they attach onto cars these days. As I said at the start of the video, I can't fault it. It is one of the nicest cars I think I've ever owned. I really love this car. So begrudgingly, I'll be handing the keys over to someone in due course.